Okay, now it's recording.
Okay, so you need two folders. One is your red pocket folder and the other is your manila folder. If you missed the 5B class, yours is a yellow pocket folder that you need to get from me. So the red one is going to be the one you will give your teacher, or the color one is the one you'll give your teacher, and the manila one is the one that you will keep for yourself. So if you would right now write your name on the tab of the manila folder. We can do that in a regular pen. There should be a box of supplies per every 4, so I don't know why there's 2 boxes here. That means that there's no box somewhere else. Y'all have a box? Where's there no box? Here.
You can just put Gilbert.
There was 1 box per 4 people. So share, yeah, the 1 box per, you got it in front of you or behind you. And there should be 4 markers in that box.
Does he do last name, then first name?
It's for you. I don't care how you do it. You're not giving this back to me. So you're just doing this, and if you want to put on the outside of that folder field experience forms and information, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. You may end up using that in your classroom for an attendance form or not, depending on how your teacher wants to work with you. So I'm going to be going through some of the forms, and then we're going to hand them out. In a perfect world, I would have had all of those forms in the folders for you, and I usually do. But you know that little black cloud that's been hovering with me this year? Yesterday, my printer ran out of ink. It ran out of black ink. I usually have lots of ink to run, to have as backups. Open the cabinet, there's no black ink in there. My ink lasts at least 6 months. It's a big printer. There was no black. Also ran out of yellow and red. I had yellow and red. And I printed a lot of the things for you in color that I want to have special things, and then it ran out. So I went to there's only one other printer like mine in the building. I went to that one, stole the black cartridge out of it, and it ran out too. After I got a little bit more, it ran out. So then I had to print to the big printer. I had a meeting of English department heads at 5:30 yesterday, and so I was here. It was really 5:30 when I left here. I was late, and I printed all the forms to the copy room, knowing that I would have to get here very early this morning to get them all in the folders for you. I was here at 6:45 this morning, put them all in the folders, went to the copy room, nothing had printed, nothing. And so I had to wait for somebody to get here, and I emailed, and Ms. Kuhn ran everything that I sent, but then there was no time, because 5B was about to start by the time I got all those papers. So I apologize that I'll have to hand them out. That will take longer to watch this video for those of you who missed it, but that's just the way we've got to do it today. So you have your 2 folders. One of them's, again, the one you will keep, and one of them is the one you'll give to your field experience teacher. So the first thing that I'm going to give you is the rules and guidelines. You might want to hold a copy of this in front of the camera so that the people who are missing know the form that they are looking for.
Rules and guidelines.
And I'm going to need helpers with handing out. So if anybody, I've got lots of papers I'll be handing out. So if any of you want to volunteer as I start to hand out things, just pop up and volunteer to walk around with me, behind me, in front of me, handing things out. That would be really good. I'm good on this one, and then the next one, there'll be multiple papers. This is the all-important, I'm going to call this Ms. Jackson's Bible of Field Experience. That's how important this one is. And that's why it's printed in color, and we're going to go through it line by line. I'm going to even demonstrate some of the things for you that I find the most important. And the first one is dress code. So it is important that you dress professionally. In most schools, this means that jeans will only be worn on casual Fridays. Do not wear jeans on the first day. Do not wear jeans on any day except Friday. The exception to that is if you're in like a pre-K or a kindergarten and your teacher wears jeans and they tell you we wear jeans all the time because we are on the floor playing with the kids, doing all these kinds of things, then that's all right. And the form that I'm going to give you in a little bit that has notes to come back that's going to be due by the end of next week is where you'll put that note to me. My teacher says we wear jeans all the time. I'll confirm that with the teacher in that way. But if I go out to observe you and you don't know I'm coming and I drop in, I don't care if it's in the middle of March or the middle of April, and it's a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday, and you are wearing jeans, then understand that not only will we conference, but your grade will suffer, because that to me is a cardinal rule. You are to dress professionally. Now, I understand that you don't have professional wardrobes. I really do. But you'd be surprised at what you can make out of your wardrobe look nice and professional. You can go to Goodwill over the weekend and find things for $1, $2. I mean, it's amazing what you can find. You just need to go and ask around. I have a number of things that people have donated for our teacher's closet, and you can look through there if you're just really desperate and find something there, or you can ask the people in your life, what do you have that I can borrow, and you can make things look good. Now, a lot of cadets don't want to dress up fancy every single time they go out and stay that way all day long. Some people will bring clothes to change into. That's fine, but it's very cool, actually. When you're dressed up on those days, it's like when Health Thought wears their scrubs, and everybody knows what you're doing. It speaks for the program. People ask you why you dressed up, and we say, today's a teaching day. And that's a pretty cool thing. Now, these are going to be some rules that are absolute non-negotiables. Whether it's pants or jeans on the casual Friday, girls, you do not wear low-rise jeans without a long top. Guys, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. When you are in an elementary school, there are times that you are going to be on the floor like this. What happens to low-rise jeans when you do that?
They
know
come
what happens
down.
to low-rise jeans. And if you are wearing a top that is not long enough to cover that up, then there's going to be a little boy walking behind you, and he's going to see things he should not see. There are times in a pre-K or kindergarten, you might be on the floor like this, crawling with a child. But you'll at least be like that. And you know what happens. My jeans are not really low-rise, but they're down to here. Now, you can wear a long top that covers that up, or you can wear a top underneath your t-shirt that does that. So for me, you see, I have a top underneath my t-shirt. There's not going to be an issue. Not that I intend to roll around on the floor here at Dutch Park, but there's not going to be an issue. I've got that covered. But the best thing to do is just don't wear low-rise pants. The same thing is true for your tops. Because if you wear things that are a scoop neck, a V-neck, any of that kind of stuff, and you're leaning over talking to a fifth grader, that fifth grader's not listening to you, I'm just going to tell you. They're trying to look down your shirt and see what they can see. They are. The same thing happens if you wear sleeveless. They will try, and it gaps, because sleeveless gaps. They can see things down the side. You have got to be very, very careful when you're around children that you are not wearing things that are going to give any opportunity to see anything that they should not see. Because you will be talked about by the children at recess, at home, with their friends, and I'll get a call. So you do not want to be on the receiving end of one of those kind of conversations. No skinny jeans that are all the way down and tucked in the boots, girls. I know that's popular. Certainly no jeggings, no leggings, but it's a thing to wear them, and I see a bunch in the room, but that just doesn't work for elementary if that's where you are, or middle school. Nothing that is skin tight. You want to, now, you take cues from your teacher. If your teacher's wearing that, that's okay. But I want you to understand this. You are not there to impress them with your fashion sense. You do not need to dress a certain way to be cool. You are going to be cool just by the fact that you're in that room. You're going to be the coolest thing ever to hit that classroom. And they're going to adore you from the time you come in. You saw that on observation day. You do not need to let your clothing do that for you. You want to look nice, you want to be professional, but you don't need to, work it. Now, I want you to do the squat check and the lean check, girls. When you wear something you think this might, I don't know if this is going to lean or not, you're going to squat down and you're going to have somebody walk behind you and say, can you see anything back there? You're going to lean over the table and you're going to, because you might not be able to see it. When you stand up and look in the mirror, you go, okay, that's good. But when you do this, it might not be. So you're going to lean over and you're going to say, Mom, how about walk in front of me and tell me, is there anything? So you need to do those kinds of checks. Guys, no flip-flops. Nobody wants to see your feet. Like that, no. You cannot show bare feet. Girls too. And there are going to be, as the weather gets warmer, you are going to want to do that. You're going to want to wear your cute flip-flops that you have. You're going to want to wear your cute Jack Rogers. No. You cannot do that. Kids aren't allowed to wear flip-flops at school because they're unsafe on the playground when they're climbing the ladders of things, rungs of a sliding board or whatever that can get caught, a foot can get caught. When they're walking down the hall in those single file lines that they make them walk in, somebody can step on the back of a shoe. Have you ever had that happen to you? I'm sure you have. And then you just about fall, coming out of the shoe, it can break. You're just not allowed to do that. Now there are some kind of flop shoes that are open in the back that they have a pretty full front. That's probably okay. It's where they are so open that somebody could step on the back because it actually does flop when you walk. But ones that they're just slide-in shoes that are really, most of it is covered, just a little open in the back. It's probably okay. All right, so you're going to check on all of those kinds of clothing. Guys, things need to be tucked in. High heels. Girls, no high heels. If you're teaching in middle school or high school, then you might be okay. But high heels in a lower elementary or early childhood class, let's go again. Let's say I've got on high heel shoes and I'm squatted down like this. Where are my heels?
Pointing out.
They're sticking out like this. That becomes a weapon. Can you see that? A child falling on that can be hurt. So you need to be very careful. Again, take your cue from what your teacher wears. You want to be comfortable. You want to be safe. Yeah.
What about wedges?
They're fine. Wedges would be okay. You want to be comfortable. I would say platforms. If you have any kind of trouble, if you can't, play around the room. If you have little children in platforms, if you just need to sit down or walk just a straight shot, and you can't play ring around the rosy with platforms, then I would not wear them. Okay, any other dress questions? Yeah.
Okay, so those sandals, you buckle around your ankle, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they go all the way around your foot and you buckle
That's
them?
fine.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
What about Toms?
They're fine.
Can you?
They're closed
I'm
up.
sorry, did I ask you?
Yeah, they're closed up. Yeah.
When you say like professional dress, should we wear like skirts and tights?
You can do that. You don't have to wear skirts. I love skirts and dresses. That's what I wear most of the time. But I also wear pants. So you've seen how I dress all year long. And when you're on Fridays, I wore this intentionally today to show you this is okay on a Friday. The only time you ever see me in jeans is on a Friday. So your Friday t-shirts should be teacher cadet shirts or Dutch fork shirts. They should look nice. They shouldn't be old ragged Dutch fork shirts. If you went to the school where you're doing your field experience and you haven't grown since 5th grade when you got that shirt, wear that. and just say, this is vintage. You may be able to snag a teacher shirt from that school. How cool would that be? But I I do have 2 more of these shirts back in the back. I'm not sure what size they are. Hayden, would you grab them and just tell me what size they are? They're back on that table. Both of them are mediums? These are $10. If you want one of these, I'm not sure what size I have on. What size is that? Okay, well this one is a small. So if you want one of the mediums, they're $10. I can order them for you from Sarah, but there would be shipping involved in that, or you can go online and order it. There would be shipping. I have those 2. And then we have the red shirt, the long sleeve shirt, the Columbia College purple shirt, and then you have Dutch Fork shirts. Yeah.
What about colored jeans?
Yeah, they're fine.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Is that only for Fridays, or can we wear that?
You could wear colored jeans if they look like I would wear. I don't very frequently, but if I had, I'd wear black jeans maybe and a nice looking top. It's what you do with the rest of it. You know, if you wear black jeans and a t-shirt, then it's just another pair of jeans.
What about like a color?
Like red or orange.
Red, yellow, turquoise.
But not like bright.
Yeah.
Like
Yellow,
kind of like medium.
It's again, it depends on what you're doing on the top.
What if they're skinny jeans? Like
The thing about skinny jeans is you just don't want them to be focused on your figure. And when you talk about hormonal little boys from 4th grade to 7th grade,
Skinny jeans. Because I got
they
those,
are
like,
focused on your figure. And that's not what you want them focused on. You want them focused on what you are teaching and doing and not checking out your legs.
So you said no tuck. Sorry.
No, you're
You said
good.
no tucking, like boots with the jeans like tucked in.
Right,
So like none of this.
right.
Okay.
Even if they're like a nice like high heel, not high heel boots, but you know like they have.
It's the jeans that are the problem. You have to tuck in like, I wouldn't tuck these because they're not skinnies and so you have all that. So, but this morning before I left home, I had on skinnies and boots. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't let them wear that. I wouldn't really, and so I changed. Because that's just tight legs, is what that is. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, like pencil skirts? They're like a no-go because they like hug all your
Well,
life.
you know, pencil skirts and that, you know, that moves over into the bandage kind of dress. You got to be real careful about that. Yeah.
Okay, so, because these are my favorite jeans, right? So you saying I can't wear these, or can I wear these?
You know, I think you could wear those are okay, especially with the shoes that you have on. Yeah, I think those are because they're. I think those are fine.
Like some straight jeans, but like okay, they're like chimney.
Yeah. Yeah, straight leg and true skinnies are a little different. Come over here in front of the camera. Model.
Okay, I want to wear
Now it's time to
That's
go.
only on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that on Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But with no boots.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's how mine look. I was gonna say I don't.
I think that would be okay. It's the ones that look more like jeggings that you know the difference. You do, don't you? Everybody knows the difference.
Yeah,
Since we have jeggings on, everyone.
Okay, come over here.
To the camera.
What? Oh, look, I'm wearing leggings.
Okay, let's move on. All right, let's talk about signing in, your procedures for signing in and out. When you get to the office at your school, you're going to see 2 sign-in things that you're going to have to do. One is they're going to ask you to do that lobby guard kind of sign-in probably the first time. After that, depending on the school, they may not ask you to do that again. I will have a folder at each school that has Dutch Fork Teacher Cadets on the outside, and on the inside will be sheets with your name and each date. So it will be a column with everybody who's going to be at that school. Your names will be there. There'll be multiple pages that have the dates. And you will sign in when you get there, and you will sign out when you leave. So the first couple of weeks, and then sporadically throughout the field experience, when I go out, that's what I'm looking at. I want to see, I'm checking for your punctuality, and are you leaving too soon? I want to see your time of arrival. Are you taking too long to get out of here and go? Understanding that you're going to have a real struggle getting your time in because they moved this class to 6B. And I know that, so I've accommodated for that with the number of days that you're out, and you'll see what we're going to do on Wednesday. But you do need to sign that folder. Now there's also an attendance for the classroom that I'm going to be sending to the teachers. And if they want to use that in the classroom so that when you go into the room, you sign in, that's fine too. Your portfolio assignment may say that sign-in sheet is necessary if I forget to take that out. I'm not as keen on that as long as I can see where you signed in the front office. I don't want you to have to sign in so many times that you lose 10 minutes of your instruction because you're so busy signing in, okay? So when you come back to school, when you leave school, you are unique in that you will leave as soon as 5B is over. And you will get out there as fast as you can, but you will not speed. I don't want to get anybody, pulled all the way to your school. And then you go through that sign-in. You need to leave and come back for 7B. If you have first SSR or first lunch, an SSR, you have a little bit of flex time in there. But understand that if you use that time, you can't bring food into your class and eat lunch there. You're going to have to accommodate, take your lunch and eat it in the car or whatever you're going to do, accommodate for that. You also need to communicate with your teachers if you're going to be doing that so that they know that you're coming in late, and I'll need to clear that to make sure that they know it's okay. And that's 6B only has that issue. So it really would be nice if you did have that so that it gives you a little extra time, because the 5B class will be there from 8 to 9:30 every day. You're going to just barely get in an hour instead of a full hour and a half. So those sign-in procedures, when you leave Dutch Fork, at the beginning, because you have that time, I'm going to make it okay for you to just leave. Not go through attendance and sign out. I'll give them a list of cadets and they will know. When you come back, that for the first couple of times, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just come through attendance and sort of say, I'm a teacher cadet, I'm back. After that, you won't need to do that either. You just need to leave and come back because your time is that tight. You may be tardy. If you have class, your class starts 7B right at the beginning and there's no SSR or lunch at the beginning. It's possible until you really figure out how long it's going to take you to drive, get in the parking lot, drive to the school, park, get back, parking lot in. You could be late on Tuesday or Thursday. Please let me know about that. I'll be telling your teachers that if you come in late, please do not count you tardy for those days that you're trying to figure out, see how long it takes you. But if there's an issue and you are chronically tardy to your next class, then that's something that we will deal with. Nor should you come in every time bringing bags of food. The school is really good about y'all leaving and coming back, but not if you make part of your coming back swinging through a drive-through. Now, if you have that first SSR and lunch and you want to make that the way you get your lunch, then that's okay. But again, eat it before you come into class. Don't be bringing hot food in anybody's class because then they come back on me. Okay. Always wear your teacher cadet name tag. You're going to get that today. When you're, especially in elementary schools, the hanging lanyard name tag can be a safety concern. Teachers out there do not wear those hanging around their necks. Children pull on them, they get caught on things, and so that's a safety thing. You will have one that has a magnet on it. It's a very strong magnet. It will hold through a winter coat. It's that strong. So make sure that you wear that all the time. Keep your name tag, your ID, since you will be at school in the morning and then coming back to school. Just get in the habit of maybe taking it off as you're driving or as you're getting to your car. Put it right there on your car seat or having it in your pocket so that you put it back on when you come back into this building. But your teacher cadet name tag should buy you, if somebody catches you and say, where's your name tag? Why aren't you wearing your ID? Where's your ID? Then you can say, it's right here. I just came back from teacher cadet. I'm sorry, I forgot to put this on. Ms. Jackson will confirm that for you. I'm putting it on right now. And that should be okay. And I'll try to run interference for you. But again, if it's a chronic issue, then I'll only run interference for you a couple times. C, if you are sick or have a legitimate reason why you cannot attend one of your field experience days, you must call both your supervising teacher and me to let us know. I won't know if you're absent because you won't be coming here to begin with. But I still need to do attendance. So you have to send me a text to say, I'm not at school today, I will not be going to field experience. You need to email or text your cooperating teacher. They are, by the way, CTs. You've been TCs all year long, and now you've got a CT. So lots of my emails will say, Dear TCs and CTs. And that's teacher cadets and cooperating teachers. So you need to get their contact information the very first day you go so that you can say, I will text you, I will email you to let you know if I'm not able to be here. The reason you have to let them know ahead of time is that they will count on you. The children will not understand A days and B days. They don't know Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday. They just get confused about when you're coming. If you don't show up and they don't know you're not coming, then that teacher probably planned something for you to be doing that now they're having to scramble, like I was scrambling this morning with the copies, to figure out how to get that covered. If you know a day in advance or you know the night before, send the teacher an email. We all check our email as soon as we get in the buildings because there are things that we need to know. So if you know that night that you're sick and not going to be there the next day, you need to let them know. You can't miss too many of your field experience days. You won't get credit for it, and that's a big part of field experience. It's also not good to be chronically absent because the teachers are counting on you. You've got my cell phone number. I should have yours. I will probably be sending a text to you over the weekend just to make sure that your number has not changed and that you get it. If you have never received a text from me, and I'm not talking about a remind text, I'm talking about you've never received a text from me, my cell phone to your cell phone, then I need for you to send me one and just say in the message, this is Brittany Boone. Just to make sure that when it comes up on my caller ID, it also says, it says Brittany Boone, that I've already, because I've got you all on my phone, but sometimes when I switched over from my iPhone 4S to my 5S, a lot of them, the phone numbers and the names sort of got separated. And then when it comes through, it's just a phone number and not your name, even though your name is in there. So please do that if you have not ever received a text from me. Observations. You will be observed several times during your field experience. Some are announced and some unannounced. If I come into the classroom and you aren't teaching, you're just sitting over on the side observing, or you're grading papers, or you are stapling things together that the teachers ask you to put together for the lesson, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not teaching, she's going to be upset. Because I understand that that's a lot of what we do, are those kinds of things. However, if that's what you do all the time and you feel like your teacher is never using you instructionally, you're always stapling things or whatever, you need to let me know that so I can run interference, and I will be happy to do that. I will tell the teachers at the end of the first week, I'll say, okay, your cadet has now observed, it's time for them to start this. I give them suggestions of things that you can be doing. They know, those who have had a cadet before, they know what you come out capable of doing. But I do always have some cooperating teachers who've never had a cadet. B, follow your supervising teacher's lead. You'll be learning from some of the best. Enjoy the experience and remember to record your observations and insights after each visit in a journal. I would say use your technology and record that in your iPad, Notability. Maybe even hit the recorder in Notability and sort of talk to it on your way back to school. And just say, today I did so-and-so. You'll get some ideas when you're out there that, oh my gosh, when I have my own classroom, I definitely want to do this. And you would think you'll remember that, but you won't. So put that in there as you or on your way back to school. Take pictures, save notes, things that they give you. All those things are going to end up in your portfolio, which I'm not going to go over today. I don't want to freak you out with what that big project is. But just to say it's big, and you will need lots of time to do it, and you will want to be collecting things along for it. I need to verify that you heard everything that I said, so if you would take the bottom of that, sign it, date it. There are scissors around. If you will cut that off, and if one of you will walk around and collect those for me, please. Yeah. Jamie, I need a helper. If you'll walk around and get everybody one of those.
How many days are we allowed to? I already know I'll be missing 2 days, like back to back.
You should be. Yeah. Are you there by yourself at that time? Yes. You are getting 2 copies of the March calendar. One of them, is everybody listening? I need everybody always to listen because time is so tight that I don't have time to ask for attention or to repeat. You're getting 2 copies of the March calendar, and you're going to get 2 copies of the April calendar. You go ahead and put in your folder, please, the manila folder, the guidelines that you just cut the bottom off. Put the black and white copy in your manila folder and the color in your color folder. All right, I need somebody with the help with the April handout.
I can get those on one second.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mark. There's boxes of tissues all around the room.
Well, you said you want the
April.
There's only one of you. Andre.
Yes, we start Tuesday. Nobody told me this. Today's our last day. If you were looking at the calendar,
Yeah, John.
you would have seen that.
I feel like I looked at it, I just didn't think about it.
We'll come back after you're out.
It's
till May
almost
1st,
March.
right? Oh my God. March, that's insane. Ross, you need to take her to the next photo.
Oh, she said it was okay.
Wait until I get over. Y'all get this? Did get that?
Wait, the colorful ones go in the...
All right, I need for you to take the color March calendar and April calendar, open your red folder, and put those colored calendars inside one of the pockets. Together, not one on each side, but together. Those go to the teacher. The pretty color ones go to the teacher. The ones for you are the black and white ones. You're going to need access to all of them here, though, so don't close it all up. So, but we're going to just look at the black and white one. Or it doesn't matter. All right.
I didn't get a black and white April one. Did you get a black and white April one?
All right, so everybody look at the March calendar with me.
I got black and white April.
You see that this coming Tuesday is your first day. We're done. Today is our last class for a while until after May 1st. Now, there will be one day when they're testing that you will come back, but because they're changing the test this year to a different testing It's not the pass in April, it's an ACT for 3rd through 8th graders.
What?
It's not the ACT that you've taken, it's made by ACT. But at any rate, I don't know what the rules are out there. Typically, when we've had pass testing, students were not allowed in the building. I don't know what the security is for this one, but we will have one day that I will call you all back for seminar in the field experience time. So I just don't know what day that is, depends on that testing, and I've got to find out. But I want you to notice that your times are, every day that you're out there is shaded.
No, shaded on the colorful one.
In the color one, it's more shaded. Yeah. Yeah, slightly shaded in the other one. But you can see the times are on there, so whether it's shaded or not, you know that those are the days you go. Those are B days. So, and I hope, now I was doing this so fast, so yesterday, so I hope I didn't make a mistake. We are out of school on April the 6th. So I'm not confident about April as I'm sitting here thinking about it. But if I messed up April, I'll fix it and give you another one. March is good. All right, so here's what happens. Your time is approximately 10:15 to 11:15. So you might get there before 10:15 depending on which school you're going to, or I think that's about as maximum of travel time as you will need. You will need to leave in time to get back here. So you may need to adjust that depending on how much travel you got.
If you have a first block study hall, would it be wiser to just go ahead and get there around 10?
Yes. If you have a first block study hall, you can go anytime you want to during that.
So we could go
You can go at 8 o'clock if you want to.
Okay.
Now, look on Wednesdays. For one thing, I messed up the 5B time. They don't stay until 1:15. It's 10:15. That zero got.
I was wondering.
Yeah, they do. But there are only 4 Wednesdays that you have field experience during these 2 months. Every other Wednesday is an A day, of course, so you don't have it. But those 4 Wednesdays, you need to make up the time that you're not getting. Now, I understand that's coming and going for you. So I would suggest that you carpool, or if you have that first block study hall, you're golden. But everybody will go from 8 to 9. I want you there when school opens. I want you to see those children at the beginning of their day. It might be 7:50, whenever their school starts. It's hard for school to start. They're in the middle of something and you come bopping in. It disrupts everything. So you're going to be, I mean, that's the way it's going to be for a little while until they get accustomed to you showing up. They'll probably all cheer when you come in. But on those Wednesdays, you get to see it from the beginning. And so those are going to be special Wednesdays for you because you're in this block. You don't get to see it, but you're going to get to see it on those Wednesdays. And so those will be really special. Now, it does mean, though, that you go there, you come here for your 5B, and then you go back for your, again.
So if you don't have 5 days, you stay there.
You can stay there the whole time.
From 8 to 11:30?
You can.
So why do you say whole time?
Right. It is a long time. All right, so that's in March. I want you to notice the note at the bottom on the March calendar to teachers. Cadets should teach at least 1 independent lesson. I'd like you to teach more than that, but that's the kind of independent lesson. You should have taught an informal lesson, working with students. They may have you sitting at one table working with a few kids while they are working with somebody, another group. They might have you start running morning meeting, especially on Wednesdays, or whatever it is, but you should at least in March have done 1 full independent lesson. The first month evaluation, which I walked around and handed out, that's going to go in your red folder, and that is going to be due at when we come back from spring break. The easiest thing is to have your teacher fill that out on that March 27th at the end of that week, and give it to you, and you just bring it back when you come back to school. Now, ordinarily, I would require you to swing by my classroom and sign in on your way to your next class. If you were 7B, that's what we'd be doing. 5B will be doing that. But your time is so tight that I don't want to take any of that time away. But I do want you to sign in sometime during the day. So your sign-in notebooks are going to be moved to the outside of my door because I might not be here when you are coming back in or when you come by. Because I'll be out, you might decide you want to sign in as you're leaving school. And when I go out to observe, I will be out for all of 5B and all of 6B. It doesn't make sense for me to come back for the 7-minute class change and then go back out. So when I leave in the morning to observe schools, I'll be gone all 5B and 6B. So your sign-in book will be out there, and I will need to see your signature that you were here or you were at your school during the 6B time. If your signature is missing, I will mark you absent. Understand that. I won't do your attendance until the end of the day, but I will do it before 8B is over with. I'll probably put your attendance in when I put in my 8B class attendance. So I need it before like 2:30 or so. So just remember, and that's going to be hard for you. I know that. I might try to, set up some reminders to help you with that. But if you start getting those absence calls and you get called in that you were absent 6B, you need to say, oops, it's because I forgot to go and sign in and Ms. Jackson didn't realize I wasn't here. I may text you to say you didn't sign in, were you there? And if that happens more than a couple of times, because I'll keep that thread in there, if I see that I've had to do that several times, then we'll be having a conversation. Look at the April calendar. There are even more notes to the teachers up in the top left about what you should be doing, the formal evaluation. I will also be coming out, and you can see that I have already designated days that I'll be going out to each school. So that's when I'll do your formal evaluation. Everybody at, for example, Dutch Fork Elementary School will have their formal evaluation done on April the 13th. That's when I'm scheduled to be at that school for formal evaluations. So you're going to have to sign up though, and I put that up there in the notes. I'll have a Google Calendar for teacher cadets with times on it because I don't want to just say anytime during that 6B time, I'll just pop in because teachers run their classrooms by certain schedules and they just can't have you just sitting and waiting for me to show up. So it will need to be at 11 o'clock is your time, 11:15 is your time, whatever. It's going to be a specific time, and that'll be on my calendar and they'll understand it, but you need to understand it. If you don't sign up for a time on that day, I will not be coming to your classroom. And every year I have some who say, well, I was ready to teach and you didn't show up. Were you on the calendar with a specific time, an appointment? No, I didn't realize I needed to do that because it was on the calendar that you were coming. No, it was on the calendar the day that I'm coming to the school. If you don't have an appointment time for me to come to your classroom, I will not be there. And then you see, I don't have a schedule coming back. I did leave a couple of open times, but if I have, on that last day, May 1st, I will not go to 4 different schools on that last day. So you need to make sure that you are aware of all of that. Put the April calendar and the different ones where they're supposed to go. The first month evaluation that your teachers will fill out, that needs to go in your teacher folder. Need a helper?